Hey, hello, fellow human beings and friends, family, all the above. I jumped on here. This is previously recorded. It's not live, so you can't comment, and I can't talk back to you while you're watching this, FYI. But I wanted to reflect a little bit yesterday, or to June 6th, whatever day today is in your world. June 6th, 2019 was 20 years ago that I lost one of my best friends, Tony Karapantos. So rest in peace, Tony. I'm sure you're having a blast wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And you had a blast while you were here with us, and we had a good time with you. But reflecting on that mile marker, or whatever you want to call it, 20 years is quite a while to go by. And when you lose a friend that, you know, a lot of you probably have lost people, even recently, and even 20 years ago, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, it doesn't really matter. Once you really lose someone that matters a lot, that's in your life on a daily, things never are the same. But when you go back and take a look at it, you know, I've started to look at it in the aspect of time, as to time being linear, and how it's just going from point A to point B, or at least that's what we've been told is going on. But I think it's more an open space versus a to B. I think there's a lot more to the experience than getting to the destination. Over my time, even more specifically, right when Tony died in 1999, I quit my job that I was making what the average human would say is good money immediately, and I told myself that if there's a chance I could die tomorrow, why is everyone so worried about making a gajillion dollars if we all have no chance of even, we're not guaranteed tomorrow? So why be concerned with money on a level to where it occupies your entire life? So thank you, Tony, for giving me that lesson. And honestly, ever since then, money's been more of a tool than a goal. So again, thank you for that one, my dude. And also reflecting to 1999 in general, back then kids could actually, or anyone could actually pick up a map and read it. People actually knew where they were on this planet without looking at their cell phone. You know, people had alarm clocks, they had separate radios, they actually had real sound. We actually had very good sound back then, and people actually cared about what frequencies were coming into their brain, whether they were good frequencies or bad frequencies. And the frequencies we happened to jam into our head back then were good frequencies. They hadn't been dulled down by MP3 or companies like Bose. Blah. And Tony's also the one that got me interested in sound itself and audio video, which then paid me for the next X amount of time, who knows. I had a couple companies here in Fort Wayne over the years doing audio video stuff, and just something, instead of money, I chose passion. I also chose around that time to put a lot more of me into my bike riding and to giving back to the biking community. So I got back into riding shows and you know, jumping, more of a professional rider versus a guy that might ride every now and then, and also propelled my career, or whatever you want to call it, in announcing. I've done a lot of announcing of various gigs, freestyle motocross stuff, tons of BMX stuff, scooter contests, skateboard contests, raffles, BMX races. I mean, I've announced a lot of stuff, and it's really fun for me, and I've told that sometimes I do a good job. So I've also started up the Battle for BMX, Midwest BMX, of that for 6 years, a skate park. So, you know, had I kept that line of thinking to where I was just going to work at my job at the car dealership and keep my rent paid and be careful and all that stuff that most of you live by, I would have never, ever got to experience what I've done in the last 20 years. And it's woken me to a different way of life, you know. At this point in time, I'm 45. A lot of my friends have worked their way up this so-called ladder, corporate ladder, and some of them have worked themselves all the way up and ended up costing the company so much money that they've been let go. And these are companies they put 60, 70, 80 hours a week into their whole life. I mean, some of my own friends have missed their child's upbringing due to the fact that they're doing the right thing, you know, which is true. They are doing the right thing, but maybe there's a different way to do it. You've got to maintain that money and revenue to keep a stable household, of course. But again, money is a tool. It's not the end result. It's not the final goal. You know, you never reach a point to where a bunch of, you know, bells go off and they say you've won, you can quit making money now. That never happens. So just take what you've got, compartmentalize it, and realize what all life is. And life is a lot more than money. Money provides you a lot of travel and ways to get through your experiences, but you can experience life without very much money at all, and you can do it and have a lot of fun. I've done it for quite a while now, so I recommend it. So if you're on the fence about a passion, you know, maybe you've always wanted to whatever, you know, maybe you wanted to be a professional runner, or maybe you wanted to be a musician, or maybe you wanted to be a dog breeder, whatever it is that you used to do. You know, I kind of sat down and thought to myself, wow, when I was a kid, what did I want to do? And at first I was like a fireman, a policeman, a space guy, you know. Then I wanted to be I wanted to be a pilot for the Air Force, because I really got a kick out of airplanes and jets and all that stuff. But then my vision was total trash, so they said, you know, I might be able to mop up one of the wings or something. I don't know what they said, but I wasn't interested in mopping any wings. I wanted to fly the stupid thing. So I said, skip that. And I kind of stayed with my original passion, was bicycles. So I've been able to teach kids a lot of stuff on bikes over the years, adults even, and I'll continue to do that until I'm in the ground. So thank you so much, Tony Karapantos, for being in my life for 20 years. You're still in my life to this day, and I know that you still affect a lot of other people's lives, and without you, I might have been stuck working in a car dealership for 20 some years at this point in time, hoping to get another X amount of dollar raise. And I'm not saying it's horrible. I mean, everyone has that approach, but I'm glad that I was able to get out of it and live a more open-minded, whatever, just kind of a free will, we'll say, a free will kind of lifestyle the last 20 years, and I'm going to keep expanding that free will kind of lifestyle. So for whatever it's worth, rest in peace, Tony Karapantos. You're never forgotten. Everybody loves you that remembers you. You touched everyone in such a crazy, amazing way. 20 years deep, so 20 years is amazing. Here's to another 20, and I'm going to jump off this thing. Thank you all for listening to me, and maybe I provided you some insight. I've been getting pelted with things that make way too much sense lately, so if you want to have a conversation, holla. Peace.